Aphorisms of Beauty and Truth, Sananda, 2015. Intent manifest, sending healing into Earth's energetic field, grid, superseding spoken printed word of the meta beyond, with quantumly registered, replicatable, understandable, measurable, and photographical physical actions, now, today, of, from, and in, experience and experiencing, in the meta beyond the illusion of this simple third dimension, five-sense reality, with multiple trans and beyond dimensional golden light after the style of Reiki masters, the CC grid, golden masters, interfacing reality as we come to understand it in spiritu sanctity, from right thought to right action, using the light, pulsing the light, in fractal ripples, beyond benedictions, to ameliorating actions, being mindful, going online, safe and sure in this golden age of awareness, reconnections, new connections. Sananda, I am. The cord through Aquarian eyes. Sananda, I am, wholeness and bliss, dedicated to the peoples of the earth. Take a stand and make a mark. John Jakes, the bastard. My background: born in a Salvation Army hospital in Chicago in 1956. An early rebel, recalling the incident in Jordan River in January 1970. My father, an ordained minister, asked if I wanted to be baptized in the Jordan River. I held my hand in the water and said no. Then I had some feet and out-of-body experience with peyote in 1979. Some highlights of the Way of the Cross, the Via Dolorosa, 1979 to 2006. Stigmata and the Journey Up the Spiritual Mountain. Also the Interface Center Buddhist Group, Reikiing the Collective Conscious, 2002 to 2006. After 1994 to 2006, feeling the stigmata in my hands and side, seeing through Jesus' eyes at the moment of his death at the hands of Roman soldiers, and his crown of thorns. Meeting the mighty I Am Presence, 2013. Sometime around the spring of '96, I had another out-of-body experience after reading the Sedona Journal for the first time. I found out how to walk and move around in my spirit body. The journal had a pink cover with a head with lights on it and a grid pattern. Later, I had some dreams about the robe of glory, about helping birth the white buffalo, many other dreams. My crown chakra opened up after engaging in studies connected to all that is along the way. I ascended the spiritual mountain. I found myself climbing in dreams along the way to the top in 2006. Then I underwent a collapse in mid-2006. Basically, my main trip up the spiritual mountain and the engaging stigmata took place between 1996 and 2006. But it has really been all my life. I've always had a small but persistent presence, letting me know there was more to the picture than meets the eye. Then there were other background experiences. 1994, I started building a house under fire from neighbors. 1994 and 5, I started my journey in earnest, clairaudience with General Robert E. Lee and Field Marshal von Paulus, whose message to me was surrender. Death was close. I felt it all around at this time. One cold night when the entity death came and spent some time at my cabin, I had no visuals, just understanding who was with me that night. 1996, my heart chakra was blasted open by seer Jackie Condor at Stone Tree Rock Shop in Carbondale, Illinois. I also went to Boise, Idaho to visit a friend. A vision friend quest came out of it. 2004, 2005, I got a picture of my light body in Murfreesboro at New Age's Other Worlds and met Tara Nelson, who became a contact. She is a witch I know who ran the store. Then there was a cat incident with St. Francis, and Jesus' spirit visit to my cabin in 2013. Archangel Michael visited my cabin in March of 2012. Michael appeared in front of the door to my bedroom. He didn't say anything, nor did I. His sword at all was pulsing electric blue. Namaskar. From my heart and mind, I salute the divinity in you. This was a greeting from the Ananda Marga Yoga Society. Old things are passing away. Behold, all things will become new. Apply what has been taught, but move on, out of old ruts of thinking. In a generation, all things will come to pass. I am moving beyond the old master now. That is what masters and students have done forever. Our past, our teacher. We are to do what Jesus showed us. We, the sons and daughters of God, are doing now what Jesus told us we would do. That we would do what he did and even greater things. And he hoped that we would use this knowledge gained to clean up this planet. Jews have a place for that in their cosmology. It's called mending the planet. So do the Hopi and others. We must take time to rethink what we've been taught. Too few seem to have looked at the world and written about it with enlightened eyes until the last century, especially the last century. It's time now for evolution, for growth. This is not revolution anymore. That's just going in circles. Welcome to the Aquarian Age, going into the summer of 2015, basically the third year of the new age. Believe what you must, know what you can. See Jesus as emeritus now. It's time to make a start, to take a stand and make a start, make a mark. Messiah is Hebrew for the anointed one. The Christ is Greek for the anointed one. Now many are anointed in the light. We are many Messiahs in Christ. Matthew 7:7. Seek and you will find, ask and you will be given, knock and the door will be opened unto you. Does this sound like anything is finished and set in stone? No, this is mystic speak for going on and checking out the greater glories of heaven and earth. As Douglas Adams says, we've been through the long dark tea time of the soul. We must quit being parasites on the body of Christ and learn to be one with it. We are now in a fresh new day, taking steps to live with ourselves, our souls, and the planet. Where and what are we traveling to be? What will happen one generation from now? That's a key phrase, a key question. We are moving from one area to the next. We are only learning to map it out. We are working out our universals. Get this clear. Nobody in the flesh is flying up to meet Jesus in the sky. The dead in Christ should arise, anointed ones, anointed with the light. The unawakened, the unenlightened will awake within one generation. The great awakening of humanity has begun. Discourse on chopped liver. We're giving the old heave-ho to John 3:16 as it has no match in the world, and it turns the rest of us into chopped liver. It gets repeated with authority as if it were a red letter, but it wasn't. We need to live in our own now as changes occur in and around us here on Earth. We can't keep looking in the past, looking back for assistance from the past all the time. It's like playing a pong game. We're just bouncing the little thing from one side to another. We sin and are quiet all the time. Shit. Then you feel good when you do some mumbo jumbo. Get past that whole ordeal. You're sons and daughters of God, not slaves. Get on your feet and into action. Get into the present. Flight of the earth, mending the earth. What good is it to take a few off the planet? God made it and it was good. Now we just trash it and throw it away. The dead in Christ shall rise. The dead, the unawakened, shall rise with the light and become anointed ones. I'm telling a story of transition from one way of being and thinking to another. The Aquarian has been much talked about, but now we are here. Our views on everything are changing. And so it is with Jesus and the Christian outlook. It must change or die or become just a backwards cult. We must move from one age to another. Jesus said, and I will be with you always till the end of the age. Matthew 28:20. We're beyond that now and started year 3. in December of 2014. Enlightenment. Enlightenment, what does it mean? Hide it under a bushel? No, like the old song says, I'm going to let it shine. Light, the holy energy, is back and transforming the entire planet. Soul healing, that's what Reiki is. On the order of a Christed One incarnate. The beginning of the Aquarian Age brings a total infusion of light. Where formerly heaven dwelt, now we look for our own places there. I'm enlightened and awakened. That is what this planet and its inhabitants are currently experiencing. This is also the calling card of an anointed one. There are many such walking the planet today. Kuan Yin and the ranks of Bodhisattva deserve some mention. They're the transmitters of holy power, whatever anyone calls. Chi, Ki, Holy Spirit is all the same. The human body can be photographed. This can be shown, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. Arise with my picture. We must work with the chakras. One's aura reflects work done, spiritual work. Work for self-understanding on the spiritual path. No means no always. John 3:16 limits our personal relationship with God. It limits us in our growth. We've already been there and done that. We need to be it ourselves. A new way of looking at things. Just as Emerson said in his divinity school address. The planet and all the inhabitants and kingdoms are becoming enlightened at a faster pace now that the light is in the ascendancy. There is no turning back now. We've crossed the Rubicon. We must look to today. We must get glimpses of a healed future, embrace the new age, and not keep wallowing in ruts in our real imagined sins. It is time to turn the page and set our sights on the future. From Piscean to Aquarian, a 2,000-year progression. Now we grow up and out of that. Throw Revelations in the fire pit. You don't need it anymore. The expiration is past expired. All peoples, all lands, have your own dreams. If you need permission, I give it to you now. What about a collective dream? What would your dream for Earth look like? Perhaps mending this beautiful planet? We can do it. We've got to get a move on here on Earth. We can't keep expecting the old answers to answer today's complex questions. Only a few words here and there about this and that have any mystical value and talk about the future. Ask, seek, find. You do that with the universe and you will get definitive answers on a spiritual level. No dogma, no religion there, only unvarnished truths. We're finding our defense now. What do we have? Our shield is faith. Our sword is for truth and justice. Our cause is about love for each other, for the planet. I don't know of a better map than Sedona. Although this time in Earth life service is new, it's definitely a high-speed time of growth. Anything which helps you grow in understanding these fast-moving times is good. Out-of-body pioneer Robert A. Monroe used the term Earth life service to explain our lives here. Here are the hearty boasts of many awesome folks who come and give their precious gifts from spirit to the public at large. Never in human history has such a general community believed in existence. What a blessing they are. Thank you, blessed ones. We seek a route as we step into uncharted territory. Who are some guides, medical intuitives such as Stacy Mayo, perhaps, or Carolyn Meese? There are too many way showers to list. We have amazing technology. We're going to turn this into a Christed planet, an awake planet, an enlightened planet. This will change not only us here, but universes without number. Discourse on benevolent prayer. I seek a new style of prayer. I pit rote prayers against most benevolent outcomes. We must let the universe work. We must learn to live in a new style after the pattern laid down by Robert Shapiro and Tom Moore. These provide the most benevolent outcomes. Try a little benevolent magic in your life. Ask for a most benevolent outcome, or MBO in your life, in the morning when you get up, when you have car troubles, whenever. Try it out. Most benevolent outcomes. Muddling through, my friend says. We muddled through. What of magic and miracles? Make your aura happen. Enjoy the aspects of the Aquarian age, the light, the illumination. It's doing, not passive. We need to be turning things around. One thing that is sure is things will continue to change. Variety will grow as well. Behold, all things will become new. Basically, this is about explaining the transition to a new age and a little bit about what to expect concerning where we're going. We're raising the bar. We think Verizon is raising the bar. Humanity is raising the bar on what it means to be human. As we grow and evolve, so does the Creator. Quit waiting for someone to come out of the sky, except for ETs, extraterrestrials, not gods. Into action. There's time enough for heaven when we get done with our work here on this planet. The kingdom of God is right here on earth. If there were no earth, what we know as heaven would no longer exist either. And after 2,000 years, you'd expect the old master to be constantly at your beck and call. We become dumbed down, ready to let the master do all the work. Oh, don't think it's all been done for you. What? You're like fruit trees who don't produce. They end up in the fire where revelations ought to be. Those old man's dreams were for a time which did not materialize. Personal responsibility. Is Jesus taking it all on himself or actually getting it put on him by lazy, unthinking people who don't want to act for themselves? Folks generally think about money, sex, boats, houses, children, etc., etc., not about otherworldly, heavenly things. These are usually left to the old, sick, and feeble. Kabbalah, the light from candles can light wane and not lose its own filament and luminosity. We seek mystical union. Male and female light up in one body. For understanding, few there are that find it. We don't need a partner for hemispheric synchronization. Who needs to be shining the light? Mystical union appears in that one person with the feminine and masculine sides in balance. Now with human communication, light is better understood as being the earth, the awakening, the enlightenment of earth in her entirety, including humans who are passing it on a regular basis now. Let's leave that old cross behind, all the blood and the songs about the blood, about the guilt. How about dispensing with that and start shining the light? You could really see the lights then. Instead of just repeating stories, let's have our own stories of how we overcame. It's hard to watch out for the path in front of us if we look back to 2,000 years ago all the time. Robe of glory, many colored dreams. Put them together with John of Patmos' dreams. Have your own dreams. Have some of mine. One was the robe of glory, a beautiful robe woven of light. Work on discourse. We must be opening to heaven and the light. Those who see the mighty I Am presence, how many do you know? Do you know the archangels? Michael, Raphael, Metatron, and more. Ask for help with defense, with healing. There are others. Isis, Buddha, Kuan Yin, Mahatma Gandhi, even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Merlin can help you on your way. If you know the language, let them guide. A heartfelt thank you to Sedona Journal of Emergence for being an awesome work, the like of which has perhaps never been seen on earth. Shining the light. We have no excuses now. This is an aura picture of the author circa 2005. This is what happens when the dead, anointed, rise. Generally speaking, one who does the work will get results that are visible on aura cameras. The pictures won't always look the same, even for the same person on different days. The results should also be felt. I remember a Sufi woman who blasted me with a strong light from across the street. From the one aspect of many, we are reunited in Christ. Sananda I am. Notes from Poet Zero. Working photo. Wounded healer in action, done with intent and understanding. A shaman working many worlds. A light bringer, showing, mapping out, charting with all it is. How we evolve, visibly, as humans now. Holistic adjustments, holistic attunements, harmonic adjustments, finding usable working balance in chaos, getting a tone, playing with a tone, adjusting tone, balance, on, off, higher, lower. Working with the body of light requires an understanding of tones as well. That knowing when someone is right on or just a shade off, adjusting. Feng shuiing, honing, adjusting human light body, adjusting the planet, adjust all it is. Aura photography provides a basis for checking one's work to see where one is at. The self and the self, coupled with Emoto's work, his protocol, establishes new levels to work with. Levels of human understanding of our own selves and how much of transceivers we really are. There is no hiding here, but an understanding, growing, and evolving as humans. We become as gods and goddesses, incarnate on the planet of choice. What is reality? Pushing the envelope. Skeptics. Science and spirituality work together to understand with a wide-angle vision a thing in itself, and what truths can be mapped out of our evolved human ability and awareness. We are forging new solutions out of our current grouping of already refined ore. We are honing now, creating in a pragmatic, commonsensical way, in a post-linear world, in an enhanced world. There is more of a now in the new world. We are more interactive, more curious with intent. Reconnection involves just properly beginning to map out the magic of what we have already unearthed concerning human energy and spirit. Let's see how it works. Let's get past who and what and get it right too. Understanding this and how. Holistic attunements, harmonic adjustments, working with universal lines, bioenergy, geoenergy, working with intent, vocalizing, visualizing. Samo's work with water just shows what we as divinity incarnate are capable of and are doing even now. I'm a test pilot, as the old Anteater says. This is a test shot, a prototype. Does it interface with its surroundings? Is it measurable? Does it work? Does it ameliorate the all in all? Is it able to be understood on many levels? Is it 5D plus art? Does art affect environment? Emote protocols for a start, and also the philosophical, the spiritual, and the historical. Let us collate evidence to support the theses of multidimensional shamans. We are working the picture in the now. It is time for a little peaceful coexistence between spirituality and science. That is the only way for a unified picture. A proper, robust, true explanation of this and that. Not religious dogma, but universal spirituality. We are looking for universals, what humans have in common, getting beyond differences. Variety is part of this planet, but sometimes we need to get together, get past our differences. There is a planet to restore. There are ways to connect and not to disconnect, not ways to disconnect. From Sedona's Journal of Emergence, a beautiful little saying. Don't let the prophecies, ancient or modern, trap you in a box of fear and futility. Change the dance by becoming the light that you are, the light that continues through and beyond the box into the adventure of forever. Time now for a new set of heroines and heroes, for spiritual warriors, for healers. Gaia needs your support, as do the people lost in darkness. Send energy to the collective conscious. I have. Send the light to broken families along with a most benevolent outcome prayer. Send it to Japan and the water surrounding the nuclear plant disaster. Send your light to the Philippines and to Haiti. It works. First, you must get an idea that it works, and then your work will become stronger. Whatever you feel is right for you to do again, take a stand and make a mark. Quit waiting for Jesus or someone else to do this work for you because it won't get done. Now is the time. The Aquarian age will support your efforts. So will Jesus be proud of and support you. when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We've no fewer days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. We're not there yet, but that old song shows us where we're going. Variety. Where will all this occur but on this lovely God-given planet? Why just give up and leave? Go where, huh? Who would want us? No, it's up to us to stay and fix this planet. And all gods and goddesses can help us humans out as we do it. How about extraterrestrial help with nuclear cleanup in Japan? Any microbees or something? Masaru Emoto's work with water is important to know now, in Japan especially, probably soon in other places. What to do, how to heal, just haven't figured it all out yet. Bhavanam Kevalam, love is all there is. The second birth is a transformation to a being of light. As the Kabbalah says, seek to be a candle lighting other candles, humans, without being put out yourself. Proaction, nature of things, doing, being, on enlightenment levels, human, incarnate, enlightened, and awake. The whole planet is moving in that direction now. We are becoming a planet of enlightened ones, anointed ones. The whole business with Jesus has turned into a major dysfunctional relationship. With the light that we now possess, it is much easier to see that dysfunction clearly. It has gone on for long enough. It's time for people to speak out and address their concerns instead of engaging lockstep obedience to real or imagined beliefs. If you want potatoes, reach for the hole. If you want a crisis one in your life, be it. Take the steps to learn how. You have Jesus lighting the way for the past 2,000 years. Is it too much to ask that you take baby steps now? Folks at Sedona kind of lead this now. We have the grand example of what Jesus spoke. What I do, you will do in greater. It's now. The new agent, boots on the ground. Let us be consciously dancing with the universe and all it is. All of the Sedona stuff comes under this heading. We're dancing between the ages and into the new year and now. People in general seem to have a problem seeing heaven, earth, etc., etc. It's dynamic. It's an ongoing process, always growing, always evolving. So too will heaven reflect changes on Gaia. Another attribute of this age is nonverbal communication with a varied range of nonverbal communication options. There are different energy sources full of energies. There are energy angels and a variety of guides. Or perhaps seek a witch-like or wise woman. They come in a variety of forms. Also, we can work with trees and wildlife and water and nature. We live in stewardship and dominionship. We're here to take care of this planet. Saying goodbye to the past is difficult. Embracing a brand new millennium is difficult as well. You can hear on the radio the nostalgic push. It'll take all we humans have to mend this planet. However, we are not done, ever. It's just that some folks are closer to spirit than others. Getting close to spirit is teachable. It's doable for all. It just involves learning the new rules to live by. They have changed, indeed. Maybe the church ain't ready to be recalled yet. If we don't change, if we as a people don't change our attitude, we may still all go down together. The planet will be awakened or dead. The choice is for us to make on a personal level. We stand where the rubber meets the road. Now is the time to think outside the box. This is what Kuan Yin envisioned with the Bodhisattva for the next generation, the spirit of Pentecost. This is personal spirit for all peoples. Intent manifest, potential realized. Don't give your tobacco away, and that's how the hog ate the cabbage. General Lee and Field Marshal von Paulus, early on about 19 years ago, came to my cabin one cold winter's day and told me to surrender. I surrendered to the Master's path and began to continue a long journey to now and beyond. These aphorisms are on my path. Once more from the heart, so be it. Life of the spiritual warrior cutting through spiritual materialism. An old wisdom teacher, Sedona is new envisioning a kinder, gentler planet. The Piscean age was so harsh. We on Earth have been there and done that for 2,000 years now. Isn't it time for some new ways of thinking, of doing, of being? I built my house from an old torn down church, just like Nietzsche building on the old idea. Foundation is already placed. Don't throw it all out. Just adjust thinking. We are not recreating the wheel. Consider the story of the old Germanic tribes looting Rome, taking home stones. Let me tell about my own awakening, stigmata, etc., and how these occurred. There's no book from the university, Heinrich Dumoulin's First 1,000 Years of Buddhism, in which he talks of the direct transmission of enlightenment by Buddha. Well, it happened at a rock shop for me with a Reiki master who lit my chakras, my bioenergy centers, lit them right up. Entheogens, Pajuta Wakan, the Lakota people call it. I used it at the time I first found her, had an episode of stigmata on the feet. Both feet hurt like hell. It was the start of stigmata, but I didn't know it at the time. I also had an out-of-body experience where I shot up into the universe. I became just a tiny speck amongst the all that is. I went looking for universals. I found Kabbalah teachings on the light, and her old Chinese also familiar with awakening and light. Old Hindu lives have also lit up characters. So too the Christians who sing this little light of mine, let it shine. What the hell? By light, are they not understanding it is a human attribute to be enlightened and awakened? Albeit a fairly rare occurrence, and one liable to get you killed in various manners. But this age is all about the light that can't be hidden anymore. Just dispels without going out itself, just as the Kabbalah says. Beyond the BS, become a self-contained unit. Be permeable, impermeable. Establish defenses of the same. Learn of white cold water and its cumulative effects on the trespassers of all that it is. We must be regaining the integrity of unity from known and unknown entities. We need to be shutting off WBC and turning on the cosmos and regaining integrity in our acquaintance as a thing in itself. Varieties, veracities, common lines, multi-directional understandings, universality in action. Earth's halo. First time I paid it any mind was when I was reading some of Robert Monroe's ideas. He called it Dirty Orange Band. I kind of knew it had to go golden. And from space flights, I knew it was also like an aura. One had to enter or re-enter correctly or get bounced off or burned up. This is sort of like energy between people or countries. Again, there are universal rules at work. We must be knowing how to and be seeing how a thread connects and operates a long journey without much effort. Beyond belief. Put Monroe's knowings, learnings alongside those of someone like Mary Summerrain, Phantom's Foot. See how psychic clearing is accomplished. Having smoked a sacred pipe at Bergen-Belsen in Germany, having walked the shoes of a friend who killed himself, having been the wounded one, the bastard, understanding not love, being not love, doing the work. Uh-oh, we're done. Something happened. You gotta leave pretty quick now. Beyond belief. Put Monroe's learnings and knowings alongside those someone like Mary Summerrain, Phantom's Foot. See and learn how psychic clearing is accomplished. Having smoked the sacred pipe at Bergen-Belsen in Germany, Having walked in the shoes of a friend who killed himself, having been the wounded one, the bastard, understanding not love, being not loved, doing the work, understanding the effort required to swim across a current, reaching the far side again and again, dreams and visions and off-filled times, only to reawaken on a dark, cursed planet. Sharing the light, many more do it now. The next 7 years, maybe time is increasingly irrelevant. See the next 7 years and the next stage boots a rock for this planet as it goes cold. 60 days and a wake up, 68. October 31st, November 8th, mark 3 years. I put that time span as a bookmark, as a benchmark to the first 3-year time span accomplished by the Christ one Yeshua 2,000 years ago. 3 years, 2,000 years, 3 years, complete, closure, finished, done, it is finished. It is beginning a new day. Formerly enlightenment or awakening was the culminant of a long and arduous journey, achieved only and ever by a few brave, intrepid souls, and usually ended up murdered and martyred for their presumptions. Now indeed it is the beginning, the new standard, the new benchmark, the birthright of those now incarnating on earth. Indeed, as the parameter of the old order, 3D was narrowly defined. Now after years of petty either or, this or that, the light is too strong to be contained any longer. And those who would be Christ, oh, how ordinary it's all becoming now. There's a lot of work to clear the old ways of thought and being. If the new grid is set up, I know personally from my work at the old Synergy site in Carbondale, the Carbondale Labyrinth and Peace Garden, what kind of effort went into this project from a spiritual and physical perspective. The Peace Crystal in place at the South Pole connects to us here. We are on the third principal meridian. Old line, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, Pyramids, Jerusalem, New Lines, Sedona, Asheville, Carbondale. We are creating with what the new cities of light have to offer, a new Earth's aura. We are melting the dark one's wings from the inside out. Without light, without dark, no light. Definitions anyway, it's all good. I'm a light worker, learning how to run with it. I'm cloaking their light, shining the light beyond limitations and understanding with integrity, with intent. So now, stay or go. Do you want to check out other stuff? Are you tired of pretty petty, stupid ways on earth and in heaven as well? I'm no saint. I never wanted to be. I've been around too long in this old school. It's boring, waiting for saints and sinners to balance well as the key. To curse or bless or choose to do neither. Maybe that's what keeps me alive, knowing I don't want to return to that so-called heaven if it doesn't upgrade too. Heaven needs evolution too. Old paradigms need to be understood and transcended. Beyond that room of many mansions, a little cabin that I built from an old church, it's there waiting. My robe of glory, my rainbow robe is waiting too. I put it on with a thought. Moving from spiritual warrior to the next step. Whatever it is, it better be good. Shining the light on the street, in biker bars, to drunks and regular people, to Buddhists and Baptists and whoever. Oh, the light flows. The vessel empties and fills again. The darkest places are churches. And difficult it is to go into a Catholic church, passing as one does, like crown of thorns. Polarity at its extreme. There is a little blood in old Sananda's eye. Perhaps it's because of an awakening in this life. That was a job, taking out that crown. It is finished. It was American transcendentalists and American rebels who kicked the king out. They are the new Gnostics. They do the alchemy. They put choice back in the language. Though few in number, their hearts are foreconscious carriers of the light. The light stronger than multitudes of believers or of herd animals. Yes, the benchmark to close the old age. There is a 3-year span of work to mirror and to complement the first 3 in Palestine, so long ago. Let now the unawakened awaken, awaken a sacred thing. Let these next 7 years be the awakened stepping stone to an awakened earth. It all starts with individuals doing their individual grail paths and finding it inside, amidst remnants of the old. How can collective unconscious continue its hold on an unenlightened planet? Excuse me, I need to stop, whatever. How can the collective unconscious continue its hold on an enlightened planet? The collective conscious is awake. Global communications help greatly, as do many fine books, as do many fine individuals doing the work. John 3:16 was a lie. The Master then never said that. Only that we too could be what he was and is today. Growing, evolving in the great light. Cities of light come about as a product of the intent and auras of their respective inhabitants. It's a light of knowing and understanding. All that is, no trick there. All's well, I reckon, safe and sure. On we go. I sure would like a good dinner and maybe a vacation. Sananda I am, home and see bliss. Postscript. Liberation now. Some cornerstones of the cities of light. Some of the many current publications that help the journey. Robert Monroe Institute. Rosalind McKnight, Cosmic Voyage, this fine idea of universal spirituality. Science fiction, of course. Asimov, Chandler, Zelazny, Heinlein, of course, and many others. They're forerunners of Sedona. The mystics written. Thich Nhat Hanh, Old Paz, White Mountain. Cornfield, Teachings of the Buddha. Buddhism, Theravada and Diamond Path, Tibetan Buddhism. A great teacher, Chogyam Trungpa. David Morehouse and the Psychic Warrior. Ed Dames put together with 911. Oh, we knew that. Mary Summer Rain, Eckhart Tolle. The Sui Reiki Masters everywhere. William Lee Rand. American Pioneers in Consciousness, Alan Watts and Ingo Swann. Only a few are mentioned here. There are so many now. That's just local stuff in America. Not counting Russia, Bulgaria, China, other places of wisdom teaching. And my choice for the best read and the best interactive work, Sedona, Journal of Emergence. Vision, many in the one, continued. Can you put on your hawk's eyes and from your vantage point see other sacred groves besides your own? Many of them have a similar template. Can you loose the chains of the old template? Can you evolve the new? We are to be co-creators in with all that is. We will find multiple levels of advanced, interactive, spiritual work. Be all that you can be. Transform, grow, mature as spiritual humans. Achieve potential for this life. Actualize the soul. The time when the dead, the inhabitants of earth, awaken in Christ is a time we will understand better what is going on in the process. It will be better understood by future historians what's going on. Much of organized religion seems 100 degrees out of kilter for me. They're waiting for the master to save them from themselves. Some red-headed, bull-headed, stubborn creatures of earth, so divine. But the crazy call of personality was not ever the master's intent. No, what I do, you will do in greater. And seeing with eyes that see, and hearing with ears that hear, I see that it's growing more true. Laws of correspondence on many levels include a now response, not an old belief, which like old saw sometimes can't cut wood. It's all good, no paradox there. And if you glimpse me in my spirit body, wearing that old robe of glory, that beautiful robe, woven from in light, the robe of glory is a robe of light, many beautiful colors, stripes, A friend asked as we chatted in the garden, "But the crown, don't you have a crown on?" I never noticed. I don't think I have to wear a hat anymore, except when I choose, but on Earth I wear a helmet. One also has perhaps a promise or duty to keep, potential to yet achieve, not now limited to or by the old. Yet, as with all returnees, before leaving spirit, everything you remember is wiped clean. So the individual has choice and potential for another life, possibility, and evolution. Yet for an awakened one to come back, the chances are she will awaken again. Yet this life, this time is now. As for the one Yeshua to return, it would be valuable to awaken and befriend now in this life. Yeah, past life, yeah. Die this life, rebirth this life. I don't know about the rules for re-entry during another life, an Earth Life series. It's the same for all with the old, in process and in world. Like Lance Armstrong, run one should run. I guess that would hold true even and most poignantly with the one you know as Jesus, the Christ the one, Yeshua, the Jew from Palestine. Question: what do various specialties have to do with helping out a planet at this time? Where can one and how can one best serve? As only was the stuff expected to be found in a mystic, that is, that comes to those with a mystic life study. In other words, that is, must we do as jungle monks do from Thailand? How can these people help us best now? My intent. I'm sending you the sample, DNA sample. As someone who has been sick and has perhaps, from a wider angle lens, take on sicknesses to understand. Perhaps healing and closure come in ways not understood prior to their being experienced. What can be and now is manifested in the human range of healing process now surpasses in conscious understanding whatever came prior in human endeavors, at least in recorded history. The divine balance remedy is in place, just as in repose. Old seekers understood healing on many levels. The BMAZ is perhaps juxtaposed with PTSD or the shock of leaving the dueling nature of dualist thinking, or reconnected theories manifesting beyond separation, mapped out science backing up spirituality. That shows divine human spirituality as it is. Here now it is used in society for the benefit of all it is. Can this research into DNA, quantifying and mapping out how benefit humanity today? Is this research important? Will this also be applicable for and helpful to soldiers coming back from war zones, which is my special interest in how this knowledge helps in the healing process? Yet, it is part of the solution, and through gnosis with effort on the part of beings divine, doing what their birthright freely gives them, what their constitution enshrines, what their being demands, we create with all that there is, with good assignable reasons. Spirit healing for wounded spirits is never just a physical process, or for mentally healing from terrorists and bombings. I've been a man of action. Universal Spirituality of Interfaith Center, fall of '95. In action, the Vision Quest in February '96 in Boise, Idaho. I gave tobacco to a Lakota speaker at the Interfaith Center in April of '96 and got a card back from Chips with the Mandan House. I've been a man of fast and no movement, a home studier since '94. Reiki master Jackie Condor cranked open chakras in '96. Light body turned on. 1994 to 2004 in my cabin. Advanced spirituality of a universal nature. Vijutta Wakan, first time for major spiritual experience at the Tex-Mex border. Spring 1979. I studied humanism, philosophy, and psychology. 1984 to 1990. Still, it was difficult to write down gnosis, what awakening is all about. Harder still to put it in a neat package to sell at Wally World for $15.95 to the masses. And whatever challenges one faces on an evolutionary journey such as the one we trod. How do we tell the new stories? That is my task. I've worked through in my last decade and more, full time since 1994, adventure and advanced study into post-conventional healing of the holistic, universal, natural, beyond separation, inside-outside approach to reconnection on all levels, with all that is an enhanced understanding, fashion upgrade of the human incarnate. This is Gnosis in the Aquarian age. The cord, or how we sack heaven, a vision for the future. Consciousness is the key. Like old Tibetans say, hold on to your consciousness when you die the body. But we are not dying. Instead, we are making a great shift. Still, hold on to your consciousness. Many are now bringing attributes of heaven and the fifth dimension down consciously. Continued interaction with guides, angels, spirits, Arcturians, Pleiadians, etc. Bring these energies to earth. We draw the fifth dimension around us now. It is us continually interfacing with the other side that will draw heaven closer to us, creating heaven on earth, as was said long ago. As we humans evolve consciously, we bring the area once occupied by heaven down to our level, or we go up to it mentally. So too must heaven evolve. It's a natural progression. How it will work out remains to be seen. The fertile, rich field of human consciousness lays before us. It's unlimited in scope. Let our personal grail quest begin anew. Blessed be. Okay. Oh, my voice is so rough. I've made a couple mistakes. One mistake I made, and then I picked up again.
Well, we can fix that. That's why we have editing.
Is that